Hello and welcome to today's video, and today I'm going to talk about the Krest Network, and then I'm going to look at the charts for DOT and also for Injective, which has been on a massive run up. It just put in a new all-time high, so I'm going to be talking about the chart and kind of give you my thoughts on where I personally think it's going to go. But first we'll kick it off with Krest Network. Now Krest is a layer 1 blockchain, which is known as a parachain because it is built on the Kusama network. Kusama is the canary network of Polkadot, if you don't already know. And Krest is supposed to be like an AI project. And as you've seen recently, a lot of these AI ones have been doing really well, you know, and Krest is no different. But Krest has a secret to it, right? They know how to hype. And you know that if you've seen anything in crypto so far, every time we see hype, it's usually associated with a really nice price growth. And we have seen this with Krest. So back in September 2023, the team announced that if you hold Krest, you will get Peak airdropped to you. Peak network is the main network. It's going to be the layer 1 blockchain on Polkadot whenever they're going to launch. And so if you are holding Krest and you need to hold 2,000 of them, then you will qualify for that Peak airdrop. And this is one of the reasons why the price has been doing so well. And we'll take a look at that too. Now, one of the other reasons, if we scroll further up here, is that Moonrock Capital, who is an investment firm, so they are a VC, they've launched a collator node on Krest Network, and these guys have a lot of followers. A lot of people are, you know, checking out what they're doing, you know, 36,800 followers. And, you know, when it comes to these big investment firms, people usually keep an eye out on what they're doing and what actions are they taking so that they can try to piggyback off them, right? And the fact that they have launched a collator node is pretty bullish for such a small, low market cap project like Krest Network, okay? And by the way, for transparency, I am a holder of Krest. I actually crowd loaned to them using my Kusama. I didn't get that Kusama back yet because the lease hasn't expired. What I did is, because I saw this massive price growth, is I just sold more than half of my Krest already because I wasn't really going to sell around 40 cents. I thought, you know, it's still too low right now. Let's wait and see what's going to happen. I didn't expect it to go to like 130, to be fair. I got out at 122 and I'm very happy with that price. It is now a little bit below that. It could go higher, but I still have quite a hefty bag now. Less than half. I have about 40% left. I'm going to hold this for another while to see what's going to happen, but I'm not going to qualify for the airdrop, unfortunately, because I need to have at least 2,000 Krest and I have a bit below that, and it's split between two different wallets. And because of the crowd loan, you know, I need to wait for these to be unlocked. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling if I see the price go up to like 130, 140. I'm just going to sell whatever I can and whatever's unlocked. Even if it keeps on going higher, that's fine. I'm really happy with this price because this is a lot better than the value of the Kusama that I had locked up for it. And I don't want to give this back because I believe that once that snapshot is taken, then everyone's going to start selling Krest, at least the airdrop hunters, because right now the airdrop hunters have their eyes on Krest because of Moonrock's post on X, in my opinion. Okay, I'm speculating, but I'm taking the gamble here. I'm willing to get out at a really nice hefty profit, given that I've locked up my Kusama, which was worth a lot less than what I got, and just exit and then just buy something else whenever I get a good opportunity like this, you know. So yeah, overall, I think Peak Network is going to be good, though. I'm looking for an entry on Peak Network whenever they're going to launch. But for now, you know, we can't get it. So, you know, Krest is the only option. And that's why you're seeing this hype with the canary. And look, the other thing that they're doing here is the Krest staking. So you can stake your Krest as well. And Sub-Wallet are supporting it. So you just go on Sub-Wallet and you just simply select Krest Network and you stake. And they've also launched a test space. So eLoop Network are building on Peak Network's infrastructure as well. So these guys know how to hype, like I said to you, and this is working in their favor. Now let's move on here and look at the price. So the price, as you can see, I mean, when they first listed, look at this, it was like less than a cent, right, for quite some time. And I thought, you know, this is not worth selling. And I know there were people that likely sold back then because, as you can see, as soon as they listed, people started selling here and it didn't do well. It was like around 1 cent for quite some time, sometimes 1 cent. Sometimes 1.5 cents, as you can see on some days. And then it had a bit of a peak here to like 4.6 cents, and then it dumped immediately back to 2 cents. Then it went up to like 5 cents, and then it dumped again to 3 cents. And then it was just on the uptrend, right? It was on an uptrend, but on the wider time scale, because this is the 1-day chart, as you can see here on MEXC. And by the way, if you don't have a MEXC account, I have a referral link in the description of this video and also in the pinned comment. If you are interested to use it and set up an account, it will also help this channel as well. So thank you in advance. And yeah, this is the next peak that I had here, and this was around 8.3 cents. And then after that, it was just quite stable for a long time, to be fair, right? Because we were in this uptrend here, and then we started a downtrend, but then it started consolidating around 5.7 cents. And then ever since that, right back in November when the bull market kicked off, as you can see, Krest has taken off as well. It went to 43.8 cents. It dumped back to like 17, 18 cents, which is still okay because it bounced off this moving average. It went back up to 35 cents and then it started consolidating, went below 20 cents again, then 56 cents, and then it kept consolidating. And then he had this massive pop to 149.99, okay, 150, almost 150. And it looks like it might want to go higher once again, a little bit higher maybe. I'm expecting it to dump after that, you know, to probably around 80 cents, maybe even 70 cents. But I think like once they announce the snapshot date, and once once people are buying enough for that snapshot, I think you're going to see a massive sell-off here, in my opinion, after that snapshot, because this is what we've been seeing when it comes to these snapshots for airdrops. Okay, you always see that dump right after the snapshot date, unless they tell you that you have to hold at specific time frames. For example, you need to have 2000 Krest on this date for the first snapshot, and then you still need to have 2000 Krest on this other date for a second snapshot, and then again for a third snapshot perhaps, you know. Maybe that's what could incentivize people to hold Krest. But if we don't see that, you can just expect a massive dump on the day of that snapshot, because airdrop hunters are gonna make the most out of this, you know. And with a low market cap like this, which you can easily move with $20,000, you know, people are going to be doing that. So yeah, like I said, I'm personally happy. I mean, look, I'm already up a whole lot. Like I didn't sell at 8 cents. I didn't sell at 50 cents. I kept it. And then when I saw like 130, 140, I was like, oh my God, this is good. I'm getting the heck out right now while I still can, because this is a canary network. Next, let's move on here and look at DOT. So DOT has finally broken out of that $10 range, which I'm really happy to see here. It was $11.31.6, as you can see here. This was the high that we got so far in 2024 for Polkadot. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to be dropping back down, because remember, when we had this big pop here to 950, we went all the way down to 6. So that was quite a pullback. So I'm not saying it definitely will happen, but there is a likelihood here that we could be pulling back to like 950 again and then bounce back off it. Although we did have a pullback here, as you can see, quite close to 950, right? It went to 996, 978 in fact. Yeah, 978 was the low here that we had on the 11th of March. So only 2 days ago, and then we went back up here to $11. So yeah, if I see this go to like 13 or 14, maybe even 15, you know, around 15, I would be kind of thinking to sell some. And you know why? Because I think that once it gets to like $15, it's gonna start dropping again for another pullback, maybe to around $10. And then if I see that pullback around $10 and I see some sort of consolidation like this with an attempt to go higher, then that's when I'm gonna re-enter for the next run up, you know, because I just don't want to give it all back. My concern here is that if it's gonna pull back, and then it's going to be like a sudden pullback of like $4 or $5, and then to see it go back up again, you know, it's like you're giving all that back. You know, you're giving it back to the market, to those people who have been, you know, watching this to be able to sell on you, right? And that's why I just want to capitalize on this and stack up the DOT bag, you know, make it bigger before Polkadot 2.0, because I'm thinking here, you know, if this goes to $15 or $16 and then it pulls back, you know, then it's going to be really, really good for, you know, if you have a lot of stable coins, to be able to buy a larger bag, at least in my case, right? That's what I want to do, buy a larger bag and then just wait it out, you know, and ride the next wave, you know, even if it goes to like $20, if it goes to $20, that's pretty good for me, you know. That's when I'd be happy to get an even bigger profit, because it's going to be like getting out like 25 or 26, given that, you know, I sold at 15, bought it back when it got to like $10, $11, because I think it's going to be accumulating around this area and consolidating for a while by the looks of it, because of Bitcoin, right? It depends on Bitcoin. And now that there's only like a month and a bit left till the halving. So, you know, I think DOT has some potential to go to like $20 this year, maybe even $30, but I just don't think it's going to revisit at all-time high yet. I just don't think it's plausible. Even if Bitcoin goes to 100,000, 120,000, it doesn't look like DOT has enough potential to go 3 times higher than this, given that Bitcoin is already at 72,000 and it's only $11. So as you can see, there's a lot of selling pressure with DOT, a lot of inflation selling pressure. You know, a lot of stakers are selling it. So, you know, that's my concern with it. It's just like, if we would have seen the big move, the massive move, we would have seen it by now. And that's why I want to move on and talk about Injective here, right? Injective put in a new all-time high. And you can see that it's clearly, you know, favoring the situation with Bitcoin, right? The fact that Bitcoin is now at 72K and Injective was trading at like $44, $43 for quite a while. You know, it just put in that new all-time high. Like, Jump Crypto didn't want to leave them alone. They were like, nope, we're not having it. You know, if everything else is pumping, you know, we're not going to let our baby Injective stick around $40. We're going to put in a new all-time high and drive in new buyers. And this is exactly what happened here, when it went to like $53, right? 53 on the dot, in fact. Yeah, 53 on the dot. That was the all-time high that we've got for Injective. And then it did a double top here, because it went to 52.83 was the second high here, the double top. And yeah, just shorting this would have been great. I actually missed it. I haven't had the chance to trade this, but it would have been nice, you know, just seeing the pullback here to exit here, to short, and maybe to place a stop loss just above this. It would have been a great trade that would have worked really well. Now, I'm not sure if I should still short it now. I'm a bit concerned because it could just bounce off this and it doesn't give me too much room. You know that, on the 5-minute chart, it normally does bounce off the 100-day moving average sometimes. And then if it does, you know, it's going to knock me out, and the risk to reward ratio is not very good for me to do that. Whereas here, it was very good, right? Really, really good, because it looked like a double top. It was a very clear double top here by the formation. And then you had like a great reward opportunity here, you know, waiting for it to get close to the 100-day moving average. So yeah, I just wanted to say this. You know, I still hold Injective, but I wish I had more Injective from earlier on. I got in at like $34, unfortunately, you know, because if this goes to like $70, $80, you know, I'm over 2x. I'd be pretty happy with this for this bull run. I'm not expecting this to go crazy, maybe 100, who knows. But I'm not expecting it to go like 200, 300. I think that would be way overvalued. It's probably more likely to get to like $100, and that's when I would be looking to say, okay, yeah, enough is enough. Obviously, we have to watch the chart and see how the market reacts and everything. You know, it's like multiple scenarios can occur here. You got to watch the market before you take any kind of decision with regards to selling. So yeah, I just wanted to do this quick short video just to explain to you the situation with the market, what I think is happening with Krest, also with DOT. And I know that I sound pessimistic, but it's just I'm trying to be realistic here. It's like, given that Bitcoin is at $72,000 and DOT is only $11, you know, that pretty much tells you that the likelihood of it going to a new all-time high is very, very low. Okay, so you can't be a moon boy or a moon girl. You have to be realistic. This is what we've got here. I'm not saying it's not a great project. I'm just saying the price doesn't seem to favor the rest of the market, as we've seen with Injective. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.